right, Abby, you're worrying about engaged couples, and do they all fall into this little stressful debate?
Yeah, somebody asked my opinion about getting engaged, and they thought I would have the answer, which was a stupid question. I'm like, you are barking up the wrong tree. And a friend of mine thinks our mutual friend is about to totally regret a decision regarding her engagement. So before I went to Bitterball, which is our singles party that happens the weekend before Valentine's Day with the Bert show, I met up with a couple girlies for drinks, and they were in the middle of a heated debate about one of their upcoming trips, where one of them is like 99.9% sure she's getting engaged. And my married friend turned to me and she said, Abby, please tell our other friend that she's about to make a colossal mistake when it comes to her getting engaged. So my not yet engaged friend tells me that she's planning a trip to France with her fiance. She's real excited about it. It's going to be so romantic. They're going to do all the fun South of France things. And she is almost positive that this is where she's going to get engaged. They've been talking about it for a while. They've gone ring shopping. They've had the conversations. And she's starting to pick up a vibe that France is where it's going down.
So they're boyfriend, girlfriend right now.
Yes.
You said fiance.
Yeah, well, not yet engaged friend. Mm-hmm. So they're planning this trip to France. She's picking up a vibe. And she's ready. Like, she's preparing for this to happen later in the spring. And so the good thing and the bad thing is she has a really great relationship with his younger sisters. Like, they're really close. They talk all the time, picking up the phone, catching up. Like, it's basically like she's already a part of the family. So it's great. She has an amazing relationship with them. The bad thing maybe is that she has invited them to come on this romantic trip. She thinks that it's going to be a good thing to have other people around on this vacation. She's like, it'll be great. We get along so well. We can all go out to dinner together. And the best part is they can be there to take photos. Like, in 2024, if you don't have a photo of your engagement, like, what are you doing? And so my married friend who was there with us also got engaged abroad. She got, I think, engaged in like Italy or something. And she said, when me and my husband got engaged, it was the most incredible feeling knowing that we were the only two people on this planet that knew what had happened. It was so romantic. We do not regret sharing the news with the world. We waited a week because then it's chaos. You got to FaceTime people. You got to text people. Everyone's blowing up your phone. You do not want to bring people on this trip and make it a whole thing, because it's just going to overwhelm you. So then they turn to me and they're like, Abby, as someone who can't even get past the third date, what do you think they should do? And I will say, I have seen a lot of videos. Like, I do love seeing people recap their engagements on TikTok and things they wish they had known before they got engaged. And the number one thing I have heard is that people regret having like a big engagement party right after they get engaged. They regret it not being a private moment. So I said, from what I know from the internet, that seems to be the stipulation. But I'm wondering, for the people who have actually gone through with an engagement, do you think it's a mistake to bring family into an engagement?
So interesting. I've covered two of these, and I'd like to cover it differently the next time. So the first time was with friends and family at a family event. I didn't propose in front of them. I proposed during that weekend so we could all celebrate together. So that was the first one. The second one was I didn't get married, but the second one was just with my son, her, and her daughter, which I thought was fantastic. It was just like the mini family, right? Mm-hmm. And I, in my heart and head, if it happens again the next time, I would rather just be she and I.
Exactly. So I always felt like it should be like a private moment. Like, this is the one time you guys get to celebrate together before the chaos ensues. Because then after that, you're planning the wedding and everybody wants their opinion involved.
So I'm the exact opposite. Mm-hmm. Now, my husband proposed. It was just the two of us, right? It was very simple. It was very sweet. And I loved it. And we went to if it's local, I think you involve friends and family. If you're overseas, I think you want to do it yourself and enjoy the trip. But for us, it was a local engagement. He proposed in our own home. We went to a hotel that night, and then the next day had planned a brunch at my friend's house. So I go over to my friend's house. She had this beautiful spread. And then one by one, my best friends from Kentucky show up to surprise me for the engagement. I bawled like a baby. So I am team, like, involve friends, involve family if you can.
Wait, so so he proposed and he had all this arranged as a surprise for you the next day?
Well, I think my friend Claire helped him out a lot.
Okay. But it was his idea. Like, we're going to do this together at first, and then tomorrow we can celebrate.
Yes.
And you didn't know. That's awesome.
I had absolutely no clue, and it was amazing.
I always wanted to do it with, like, in front of both of our families, but in a way where she doesn't know. And I don't remember where I got this from, but I just remember it was like some movie or something, and they were in a place where she thought that it was just them two on vacation, and there were a lot of people around. And then when the guy proposed and she said yes, everybody that turned around and started clapping, that's when she started to realize that her entire family was there. But she didn't even know before the proposal happened. And then they filmed the whole thing. And I always thought, like, that's dope. Like, if I ever get to that point in life, I want to do it that way. So I would rather have the people around, but I would also have to know my lady and make sure that's what she wanted to.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, if I'm in the south of France, I don't need friends and family surprising me. Have something planned when we get back. I feel like if you're overseas and having like a romantic vacation together, you want it to be the two of you. But
And she's not even sure that this engagement is going to happen. So everybody might end up in France and there's no engagement.
She just invites them and she's like, why did I cut off two of my favorite people in the world for this when you didn't even pop the question?
I think it's individual. I think you have to know what your partner is all about. Like,
sure.
Do they want family around? Do they want this thing to be like a social media extravaganza? Do they want this just to be very personal? For me, it's more authentic. For me, just me, authentic. If it's just me and her and there are no cameras around, I want to have that special moment just for ourselves before we bring anybody else in. But that's just me.
Yeah, I think it would have been different if he invited the sisters, but she did. So I'm like, have a good time in the south of France and enjoy your engagement.
The Bert Show.